Hi, everybody. You're listening to the Songwriters Across Texas podcast, where we get to know musicians through their stories and hear some of their music. I'm your host, Karl Anderson, and today we're very happy to be at Arlyn Studios in Austin, Texas. My guest is Patricia Vonne. Patricia Vonne's formative years in San Antonio were filled with music, film, and art. She grew up in a proud Mexican family with musical parents and is one of 10 children. She left Texas for New York City to pursue her own art. As an actor, she began to crack the casting code of the entertainment business, appearing in numerous commercials, and as a musician, putting together her first rock act while working at the China Club on the Upper West Side. She said her mission is to spread joy and love through music. Her albums are always bilingual, seamlessly flowing from Spanish to English and back again. Patricia toured the world with her own albums. There are 8 of them, and collaborated with some of the greats, not only in music like Johnny Reno, Tito Arriba, Rosy Flores, and Alejandro Escovedo, but on the silver screen as well with her brother Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino. She's also a filmmaker in her own right. She's the Renaissance woman of Austin, Texas, people. Give me a welcome, Patricia Vonne. Hi. Thanks for being here.
Hola. Thanks for having me.
Hola.
This is so great.
What are you going to start us off with?
This goes out to the generous spirited Joe Ely. It's called Joe's Gone Ridin'.
Oh, my.
Joe's gone riding, riding on the rail. Joe's gone riding, he'll be on your trail. Don't try to fight him, you're only gonna fail. Joe's gone riding, he's riding on the rail. From the cotton fields of Texas down to the Rio Grande, he's a gypsy cowboy where he always takes a stand. He hustled pool, hopped the train, headed down to San Antone. A restless heart, he lives life down to the bone. Five-card gamble at the Boomtown Saloon. Well, he always plays to win while howling at the moon. Tequila wine, fists are flying, and I'm caught in a mess. But I love to play the part of the damsel in distress. Joe's gonna riding on the rail. Joe's gone riding, he'll be on your trail. Don't try to fight him, you're only gonna fail. Joe's gone riding, he's riding on the rail. He's gone riding. When you plead and you cry, and they just won't let you by. But if Joe says, yeah, Joe says, tumbleweed, devil die, and they spit between your eyes. But if Joe says, yeah, Joe says, there ain't no opening band for no wine festival. But if Joe says, don't mess with Texas or a green-eyed girl. Don't penalize my case just 'cause I defend my world. You gotta speak your mind with every breath, fight for what you believe. I just wanna live a life without that human greed. Oh, Joe's gone riding on the rail. Joe's gone riding, he'll be on your trail. Don't try to fight him, you're only gonna fail. Joe's gonna ride it, oh, he's riding on the rail. Ooh. Whoa, whoa.
Patricia, that you're so awesome. That song's killer for Joe Ely. I love your lyrics too. Like those lyrics that's a story going on.
He's our gypsy cowboy, and he's lived a life, and
Yes,
it's all
he
in there. I
has.
tried to put it all in there in 3 minutes to just paint a portrait of why he's such a amazing, generous spirit, really. I mean, when I came back from, as you were talking about, New York, it was hard to get a gig. So I reached out to him with a letter, and I mailed it to the Bottom Line in New York City, where he was performing for 2 nights. I FedExed it, and I was just asking for a gig during a wine festival. And he said, "Tell him Joe says yes."
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I know, it's so amazing.
That's incredible. Well,
Thanks, Joe.
thanks for being here, and I would love to. We don't have a lot of insight on San Antonio thus far in their last several shows, and I think you have like this remark. You grew up there and immersed in the culture and in a family. I'd love to hear what that was like.
Yeah, well, one of 10 children from San Antonio, Texas. We were brought up on faith, music, movies.
Yeah.
And, it was just a wonderful upbringing. My fondest childhood memory was my mother teaching us our second language, Spanish, through the mariachi music. Because when she was a child, she was forbidden in school to speak Spanish. And if your Spanish was better than your English, they would keep you back a grade.
In San Antonio.
Well, just in general,
But this was in San
This
Antonio.
was my mother's experience.
Okay.
She's actually from El Paso.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So she met my dad, and my dad's from Rio Grande City, Texas. And I think that's important to mention because he was one of 11 children from Rio Grande City. And my mother and father met in San Antonio, and he proposed on the third date. He wanted to propose on the first date, but he didn't want to scare her. And but that's where the love began, and I was so thankful that they shared their love of the arts and music with me, because with my music, I'm able to share that history of music with the people that I meet when I go and tour overseas, like in Poland and Ireland and Germany, for instance. They have no idea that we have that culture here, and that's how the Tejano music and the conjunto music came to be. Because the Mexicanos were hanging out with the Germans when they were ostracized, really.
Right.
And they were sharing music. It was such a joy to share. And then that's how it melded together into what we have now.
This is what music gives to people.
And I just say, bringing it back with Castanets to your country because you brought it to us, really.
Right.
But I was so amazed when I was in Poland, especially. I heard it, man, that sounds like Flaco Jimenez. And then I was like, oh, of course.
Right,
This is where it came from.
Right.
But it's so interesting, the rich cultural heritage of my hometown and the amazing musicians that were born there. I mean, you have Charlie Sexton, Alejandro Escovedo, Steve Earle, Rosie Flores, Flaco Jimenez, so many musicians, Doug Somm, but the diversity of music. From those musicians from San Antonio. So it's a hidden gem.
Right.
Really.
There's so much culture there, so many different, and it blends well. And then, and there's really great architecture and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
the
that's
Spanish missions. And it's only an hour away from here. From
right.
Austin.
It's a lot different than it is in Austin or Dallas. It's really its own unique thing. And I know that it's, from your family, which is so important to you. And your own mission, to have the bilingual thing be a part of your act.
Yeah, it was like a cultural menudo, if you will.
Yeah.
And I remember the Los Lonely Boys would explain it as, their enchilada, or how they, they refer to food, but that is part of the culture.
Yeah.
And that's what it was. But growing up with so many brothers and sisters, we were very fortunate that was our gift from our parents. For any celebration, they would have the mariachi trio, come to our house and in our living room perform for us.
Wow.
And that never left me. I don't think that would ever leave a child, because that's their culture, and that was my first musical connection to my heritage was through music.
Right. And did you guys get like sing-songing in the house?
Oh, yes. Well, my father was a door-to-door salesman for 39 years. So he was a traveling salesman.
Wow.
So movies and music, that was our dose of of joy with my mother. My mother would literally count our heads, make sure we were all in the room, and she'd pull out her Spanish guitar and she would teach us the Júrame or Guantanamera, but in harmony. She would teach us the harmonies. Contigo aprendí, and she would tell us the background stories of these amazing boleros, rancheras, like Maria Grever and Agustin Lara, Armando Manzanero, and she would tell us who wrote the songs, and she would paint a picture for us of how it came to be. And so that was always very enriching to me. So, and she always told me the longevity is in the writer. The power lies in the writer. So if you can write your own songs, you'll be around for a long time.
Oh, cool. So she was totally like, go get it. Like never once like you should go do anything but what you sing. And
you know, she always also used to say, what would we do? What would this world be without music? She would just have these little sayings that would just come out, you know, naturally. And Rodgers and Hammerstein, when we'd go see The Sound of Music, we would always go see the movies. And Leonard Bernstein collaborating with Stephen Sondheim. She would tell us these background stories and like, wow, how do you know this? Hello, Dolly with Barbra Streisand. I mean, we loved going to see the MGM musicals. And I mean, I remember walking out wanting to be Sid Charisse or whoever was on the big screen.
Right.
For a child to be exposed to the movies and music and mariachis live was tremendously impactful. And that's when I knew, I wanted to be a songwriter and a musician. I went back to my childhood memories of, gosh, it's got to be bilingual for many reasons, on many levels. And you had asked why I use Vonne, my middle name.
Yes, I did. I did.
Let's get right to that.
I want. Yeah, that's great because it's an excellent segue. I mean, your last name is Rodriguez, and your middle name is Vonne, and that was. Yes. I was like, I always like, how did she pick that name? So
it's interesting. Again, when I mentioned my mother was not allowed to speak Spanish in school, when I moved to New York to pursue my artistic endeavors and wanted to start a rock and roll band, and was auditioning for commercials and film, and I would get stopped at I couldn't even walk in the door because they would say she doesn't look Mexican enough, she doesn't look Latina enough.
Oh
I'm
my
like, hey, wait a minute. For my own people, they'd say that. I'm like, wait a minute. Well, no, come on.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna have to use my middle name. And when I started using Vonne, they would ask me, are you French? Are you Italian? Are you Greek? And I go, hey man, just pick one. I can speak a little bit of each. Just hire me. And so I would be booked as Italian or French, and I was like, man, my middle name is saving me. It's saving me, and it really did. I was able to live and survive and work in Manhattan for 11 years. I was able to start my band there. I was able to do everything I wanted to do. I was still using my own name. It was just a little altered.
Yeah, no, but that was smart as could be, and it fits you. Like it was, I think, genius, honestly, because you are so committed to the culture and the name, and just like that. But you went, I'll keep my name.
And you know what? But I knew even more so through my music, I could scream my heritage out loud.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why they're all 8 albums are original music, and they're all bilingual, and it's like my thumbprint forever. It's my legacy. But for my own heart, my own mission in life, from Diosito above, it's like, this is your mission. Don't let anything stop you. And that's my message to anyone else out there wanting to be an artist. Don't take the negative, so many people that I meet at like workshops, Comic-Cons, where they say, man, I was an artist, I was this, but my teacher said I wasn't good enough, or this person said I wasn't good enough. I'm like, you didn't listen to them, did you?
And I know, exactly.
And when I find out they did, I went, it's not too late. Start now.
You can go get a journal and just start writing in it. You'll be happy, Yeah, totally. It's not easy to live and get your art done in New York City. Like, I lived in New York City, and there's just a lot of bodies and a lot of competition. When I was there, it was just a little less like people sort of willing to do things. So the fact that not only you go in there and they give you these curveballs with you're not Spanish or whatever, you go, all right, I'll get around that, and start getting cast and set your band up and have success on that Upper West Side gig.
Mm-hmm. Well, I had a big sister who was the firstborn who went before me. Her
Right.
name is Angela.
Nice.
And she was a
Angela.
trailblazer. I wanted to be just like her. And so when she, picked me up from my bra straps and said, "You're moving to New York," my parents allowed me to go. And she was the firstborn. She graduated from St. Edward's University and, majored in theater and business. And she bolted. And she knew what she wanted to do. She's an actress. And she's still there. She's a lifer.
That's awesome.
That was her passion. She wanted to move to New York. And so when I did move up there, she helped me in every way. She took me under her wing. She helped me cover her shifts at the China Club. That's where I met, the musicians that played on my last album. Steve Ferroni from Tom Petty's band.
Right.
He played with Eric Clapton. Carmine Rojas from David Bowie's band. Tommy Price from Billy Idol. They were all
Yes.
China Clubbers, if you will. And so and Robert LaRoche, my longtime songwriting partner, met him at the frickin' China Club.
Okay.
So that was where I grew up, I felt. And it was thanks to my big sister and my parents for allowing me to move there,
Absolutely.
Familia, es importante.
Es muy importante la familia. Let's do another song.
You got it. Ooh, okay. This one is called The Sailor and the Mermaid. And I wrote this in Odense, Denmark, the hometown of Hans Christian Andersen. And I wrote this for my nieces and nephews. I have 20 nieces and nephews. But when I was there, I felt the need to do that, the Little Mermaid. And some of the lyrics is in Spanish. So the lyrics are, he's about to walk the plank into shark-infested waters, and he's saved by the kiss of life from the mermaid with her embrace of tenacious fingers. Hear the cry of destiny of an ardent, wounded love. Fue forzado a caminar la tabla, se zambulló en el agua helada, clavada debajo del galeón español, sintió un golpe brutal, descendiendo en la oscuridad, sintió un abrazo fuerte de dedos tenaces a girar con un beso de la vida. El marinero y la sirena pertenecen al mar negro. Hoy en el llanto del destino, un amor ardiente y herido. Él está destinado a navegar sobre el mar espumoso del amor y ella nada leguas abajo. Su corazón abrado nunca podrá saber la alegría de nadar con su amor verdadero. Su amor es un tesoro que brilla más puro del oro. El marinero y la sirena pertenecen al mar negro. Hoy en el llanto del destino, un amor ardiente y herido. Cuando veas caer una estrella, mi hechicera, recuérdame, mi sirena, aunque perteneces al mar, ven conmigo, seré tu refugio, con permiso, mi gran esperanza, marinero, que el amor no es fatal, solo sincero, hoy en el llanto del destino, mi cariño, desde el fondo del mar, donde vivo. Oh, marinero y la sirena pertenecen al mar negro. Hoy en el llanto del destino, un amor ardiente y herido. El marinero y la sirena pertenecen al mar negro. Hoy en el llanto del destino, un amor ardiente y herido. Sorry.
Once again, yeah, no, get in on that. Gorgeous, and I love the mermaid came to the rescue.
Oh, Denmark. It was so. I'm a Sagittarius, as you are.
I'm in.
Love traveling, so you've got to write a song in every city, right?
Yeah.
So that was it.
That's
for the
wonderful.
nieces and nephews.
Nice. You have a Christmas album too.
Yes, I do. In fact, for the last song, I love making 2D animation. So I made a 2D animation for this. It took about a year to make, but I have 3 of them for my music. But I just love working with stop motion photography.
Oh, cool.
So you got to check those out.
Yeah, I like that medium. Cartoons and 2-dimensional is definitely
2D.
2D, baby.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to. But you told me about lots of different people like Johnny Reno, who was a hero, and you got some not only advice but get to work with him. And there's sort of a list of them. Well, let's talk about that.
Sure. He was the first live show. Johnny Reno and the Sax Maniacs were the first live show I ever saw in my hometown of San Antonio. And my dad brought me and my brother Robert because he was learning to play the saxophone, and blew me away. I mean, gives 1,000% on stage, but he also, with his saxophone, was on our table on the bar, and my dad explained, well, that's what they would do in the 1940s. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, nice.
Again, those moments never leave you. I felt like I was doing something naughty. I was like, whoa. But now he's a family friend, and we've written many songs together, Rattle My Cage, Hot Rod Heart, and he's in my music video of a tribute song I wrote for him called Sax Maniac, live at Antone's. He's also in my Rattle My Cage video, but I mean, what a guy. And he was the first person that I called when I told him, when I was living in New York, I'm going to do it, Johnny. I'm going to start a band. Do you have any advice? And he said, one word, patience.
Patience.
And he also told me, and it's all in the title. So when you write a song, start with the title. And I do. That
works.
It's so much easier for me, and it's like putting together a 5-piece puzzle rather than a 1,000-piece puzzle. To me, it's like my grandma Severina. Went, that's a title. I know what that's going to be about. Bang, Joe's Gone Ridin'. That was a title.
Right.
Rattle My Cage was a title. Just start with the title. And Top of the Mountain. A lot of my title tracks were titles first, Viva Bandolera, El Cruzado.
El Cruzado was the one with Tito, right?
Yes, yes. And with Tito, he was on my debut album, because before I made my debut album, he was our Bob Dylan, Tito Lariva of the Cruzados. He was also in a punk band called The Plugs.
Nice.
And all my brothers loved their music, but I took to them because they always had castanets in their songs. And it was just amazing music that spoke to me. But when he formed Tito and Tarantula, we met him on the set of my brother's film Desperado. Okay. And I got to go on tour with him. As soon as I met him on the set, I started writing El Cruzado, just to let him know I'm such a fan. And you write a song for your hero and you'll go on tour with him, because he heard the song and he goes, I need a 5th member for my European tour. It's 8 weeks in Europe. Opening night in Paris, France, will you be that 5th member? And it was he always had a multi-instrumentalist in his band that I always admired. And when he asked me, do you play the piano, the keyboards, I went, just teach me the arrangement.
Oh, yeah.
Do you play the mandolin? Just teach me the arrangement. And he taught me the arrangement, and I was that multi-instrumentalist.
That's so great that you had enough confidence to just say yes, because you knew the music, right? You know music so well, and that's like, just show me how to do it, and I'll play it.
And also 11 years in New York City, you just, you go for it.
Woodshed.
So you don't say no when it's your hero. It's like, just teach me the arrangements. Also, you had asked, in my New York days, I started off as a bass player, actually, for a band, a pop band from London. His name was Mick Mahoney, and he had Mick and the Maelstroms, and I was his bass player, and he taught me the arrangements.
Right.
And he's the one that told me, you can just learn any instrument, just have them teach you the arrangements. So New York City really, I would be a totally different person if I did not move to the concrete canyons of New York. I think when you feel that pull to move somewhere, do it, because you've got to do it when you're young.
For sure.
You should do it when you're young.
Yeah.
Because you will always regret it later.
Absolutely. There's an energy in New York City, if you're an artist, that you better get there at least at some point, because it's just nothing else like it. I always said it was exciting. Like when you leave your apartment, you walk a block and you've heard 5 languages and none of them are English. and you're like, okay, now we're getting somewhere.
Talk about melting pot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and if you fail, you fail. The good thing about Manhattan is you fall flat on your face and no one cares.
Exactly.
You just pick yourself back up and keep walking.
No one's watching.
Yeah, so the Cruzado, the song, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad. But it came from the heart. I was like, I really wanted him to know. And for the whole band, really. And on my 7th album, I got to co-write an instrumental with the lead guitar player of the Cruzados,
Nice.
Stephen Medina Hofstetter. And I got to play the lead guitar on the recording. So he's like, who's playing guitar? I go, I am. I was being you. But it was like, just play. Jimmy Vaughn always told me, play what you hear. I asked him about guitar playing. That was his advice to me. But I love meeting my heroes because you can always ask them questions. They were burning questions, and they'll answer them. And you take that as a keepsake.
Play in simple, like, play what you hear. Yeah.
Play what you hear.
What didn't you prompt them with something like whatever it was like? How do I play this? It's just play what you hear.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and and you go, thanks, Jimmy, man. I won't ever forget that. I'll take that right with me.
He calls me cousin, by the way.
Cuddy.
Because of the Vaughn.
Yeah, that's right. That you said. People ask you if you're related to him before they'll ask you if you're related to Robert. But that's great.
Yeah.
And Robert, speaking of Robert, he said something to you too as well that you really took to heart, the do-it-yourself.
Yeah, my brother's a maverick filmmaker. He started off making short films and then made El Mariachi.
Yeah.
Because we love mariachi music.
That's right.
That's how much we love mariachis. And he always said, because I was like, I'm going to start my band. He goes, well, do it yourself. When you get your label, it's best if you do it yourself. And he was right. Because, when I was in New York, I did sit down with some heavy waiters, but they were like, lose your band, lose your songs. I go, well, if you're going to find me songwriters, can you find these people? I was listing like everyone from Charlie Sexton to, all the way down, my Texas heroes. Doyle Bramhall, and
right,
like I guess Nashville writers, but I live in Texas. I was like, but who are they? They wouldn't tell me their names, so nothing was written in stone. But it was just that gut feeling. I felt sick to my stomach. It was like, oh my gosh. And then they said, well, we want to make you into the Mexican Celine Dion. I was like, oh no, this is really a down. I love her. I love her, but I'm not Celine Dion.
Right, you're not trying to beat.
I love her. Wow.
Me too. And it's
like if they think I could sing like her,
damn pipes,
and put me in, I was like, I need, like my brother said, do it yourself. So forget that. But when I moved back to Texas, that's when I got the call from Tito.
Okay.
And I said, they have no idea. I'm in my joy. They could, if they felt that don't listen to other people if you know your trajectory, if you really follow your heart, because you know yourself better than anyone. And I was so in my own skin with going on tour with Tito and Tarantula. I'm a Tarantula forever. And when I got back from Europe, I recorded my debut album. And a lot of those songs, Bandolera, they were all written in the hotel on hotel stationery.
Oh, cool. In my joy.
And then second album had the 3 tribute songs for Johnny Reno,
right.
Joe Ely that I just sang. And Alejandro Escovedo took the title track, Guitars and Castanets, on my second album. So I was always, putting my thumbprint on, these are my heroes. I'm, paying tribute to them through song so they can always hear it. And then the 3rd album, 4th album, 5th album, and
yeah, it's so wonderful.
8 albums later.
Yeah, and still going. It's not like time to hang up the cleats.
And able to work with these people. That's what I'm saying. It was a miracle of God that the Christmas album came along during quarantine, during the darkest time in global history when we were not recording, and it was supposed to be a one-off single. And when I sent that single, I went to my producer Rick Del Castillo and said, this is a single, let's just send it to our friend Scott Plunkett. He plays piano for Chris Isaak. Right. Sent it back sounding like a Nelson Riddle orchestra. I was like, oh my gosh. And that's when I heard, again, you just feel, it makes you feel, it's impactful. I went, this Baby Jesus has other plans. This is not supposed to be a single. I reached out to Rosie Flores, Alex Ruiz, my go-to people, Johnny Reno, David Grissom, and then my sisters, because we always sing Carol of the Bells a cappella. I said, we can at least aim for a 6-song EP in quarantine. And then it became a full-length album with all these incredible musicians jumping on board, like Ruben Blades. He not only sent it back with his vocals, but he wrote the whole solo section. So it's a co-write. He carved out time of his busy schedule, and that made me fall to the floor and cry. And then Steve Ferroni, Carmine Rojas, and Rosie Flores, Alex Ruiz. So it was just a miracle that took place during the darkest time.
You brought up Miracle of God, and it was one of the things that there's a quote that Quentin Tarantino said. He said, I'm going to read it so I don't mess it up. My pen is my antenna to God. You can't write poetry with a computer. Now, what this means, he's saying, where does this stuff, creativity, come from? Yes.
Absolutely. For me, too. Faith, family, friends. Those are my top three. Faith first.
The intent, I thought that was such a great image because, and he says you can't, you see the writing, I get my ideas out in a book with a pen, and it feels like poetry to me. This, makes me as happy as anything. So I'm like, this is what you do, and then this becomes this. Mm-hmm.
I agree. I totally agree. And paying it forward, too.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I have to mention Danny Trejo because I was just with him at a premiere, but when I interviewed him during COVID, because I was doing again, I have to, he always says, everything good that has happened to me is a direct result of helping others without asking for anything in return. And when he said that during my interview, I had been doing the food drive every Friday on my Facebook fan page. I didn't even know how to go live, but when it was worldwide news that my hometown of San Antonio was, in desperate need of, thousands, it was this iconic
during
drone
the freeze,
shot.
was it
2020? No, all of during lockdown.
During the lockdown. Okay.
That 120,000 people a week were being fed at the food drive. They were in line. There was this drone shot of the thousands of cars in my hometown, and I didn't realize that they have the highest poverty rate in my hometown of San Antonio. So that's when I went live and was doing the food drive, and by Christmas, we raised over $10,000. And that's where the Christmas album came from. I was so overwhelmed by the generosity of spirit. People didn't have jobs. They didn't have anything. And so for them to give $1, which equaled 7 meals, and then by Christmas over 10 grand for these families just to put food on the table, it really made you realize what is really important in life. The most basic need is food, love,
Yeah, exactly.
For them to all come together. So when that first song happened, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a single just to give back. And then, poof, it came back sounding like majestic orchestral arrangement. I'm like, for him to put that much love into that recording, I was like, I think, he's asking me, do one for me, do one for me, do My Sweet Lord for me.
Yeah.
I'll help you find the musicians. I'll help you finance it. I know we're in lockdown COVID. Don't worry about a thing. And then 7 months later, we had a full-length album, and we made 11 music videos on iPhones. And with Mark Del Castillo, my friends pulled together and made 11 music videos for each song on the album because I wanted this to be a miracle forever. Like, wow, when you all come together, miracles can happen with Diosito above leading the way.
Sí.
Really.
Exacto. Exactamente. Well, I am just so honored that you've come here and shared everything with me. And it went by fast,
yes.
But I'm looking forward to hearing this. You're going to play one from the Christmas. I just going to kind of hold these up a little bit. She brought in all these different. They're really cool.
Oh my gosh, my babies! Yes.
They're her babies and her castanets, which
oh my gosh,
we don't. She's playing, and so she can't. But she's so wonderful at the castanet. Okay, let's get a little.
A couple seconds.
Please.
Like a lot of my Spanish songs were written in Spain because my little sister Elizabeth went to Sevilla for 7 years to learn the art of flamenco dance, and I would visit her every January for the month. And a lot of the songs on the 17-song Spanish album Bandolera was written in Spain, and that's where our family comes from Mexico and Spain.
Okay.
So these are from Andalusia, and I always love incorporating castanets because it's part of my heritage.
Yes, it is.
But in Spain, you'll hear al compás de la guitarra. Ay, que noches embrujadas en la noche de las palmas. Cruza el Guadalquivir es la caña. And so that Gina with the castanet. Viva bandolera, arriba dueña, arriba dueña. Woo! amor, paz, prosperidad y más.
Yes. Yes. I almost got up and started dancing. It's a good thing you pulled back. Love the Castanets. I actually had a pair of Castanets when I was in college, and I kept them in my coat pocket, and I would pull them out, and I'd start.
This
People
is the
be
star
like,
of the show. I love incorporating dance with my rock and roll band, and I'm able to. So,
yeah.
I just love it. Just love it.
Looks good on you.
Thanks. Yes, you want one more song?
Yes, please.
Texas burning, see the heat rising. The fields have withered and the wells run dry. Now my heart is yearning where the home fire's burning bright. Well, I'm going home, I know. Oh yeah. Ageless mother, paint me a picture with shades of sorrow and cold and pride. Love will never leave you lonely, like a lost child crawling in the night. Well, who's gonna hold you? Who's gonna hold you now? Well, I don't wanna wait here any longer. I just wanna lay on warm, familiar ground. Texas burning until tomorrow. It's where they lay me down. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Texas burning with its red eyes shining. How I miss that comfort as every day goes by. Now my heart is yearning where the home fire's burning in the night. Well, I'm going home, yeah, I'm going home, I know. Well, I don't wanna wait here any longer. I just wanna lay on warm, familiar ground. Texas burning until tomorrow. It's where they lay me down. Ooh, where they lay me down. Ooh,
So freaking good. Oh my God, Patricia Vonne, everybody. If you've been watching this on the CW and you want to see the full episode, just go over to the YouTube channel, Songwriters Across Texas, and there's some other good stuff there too, so check it out. Patricia Vonne, thank you again so much for being here.
Gracias a ti. Ole.